Hi everyone. Welcome to the system design series where we will break down some complex problems into a simple and easy to understand concepts, and we will cover the all the system design concepts from load balancer to the caching and scaling. So we are starting this course. If you are wondering why how this application like YouTube and the Netflix who handles millions and millions of users, so you are at the right place. Now we will start with the system design things. So here we will write down whatever we are uh, learning. So what is system design? So system design, we can say, is an phase inside a software development process where we focus on the high level design of a software, including its components and including its architecture. So we can say we break down a bigger problem into a smaller problems, and we can say smaller components, and then now and after that we build those components and designing each component so that it can work together effectively and work and achieve the overall goal, right? So what is system design? System design basically breaking bigger problems into smaller components, and designing those components so that they work together, right? And also, now in this course what we are going to cover and what we are, so first of all we will go through the, right, what will be our path. Right, so what will be our path? First we will learn about performance and the scalability ability, right? Performance and the scalability, right? And performance and scalability, how we can scale our application, or we can say this system, and how we can make a good performance software, right? After that we will go through latency and the throughput, and also discuss what is the difference between them. So basically latency, how much time your system takes to response, and the throughput is how many requests your system is handling at the same time, right? Now after that we will discuss about availability, right? Performance and scalability, then latency and throughput. After that availability and consistency, right? So availability, ability of your system to provide service without any failure, or even the presence of failure, how much time your service is available, right? This is the availability. And on the other hand, what is consistency? Is the property that all the clients see the same data at the same time. Like for example, one client at another place is watching the same data as you are watching in the another place. So that is consistency, right? So there are consistency patterns also. Consistency patterns also, with which we will discuss, right? And the availability patterns we will discuss. Availability patterns we will discuss, right? Now after that, uh, we will talk about SLAs in availability, right? SLAs, and we will discuss about SLAs, and about consistency, and We'll discuss about the CAPS theorem. You can say we can discuss about CAPS theorem, right? And we will discuss about the different type of consistency which are available, right? And after that, we will go to about background jobs. Background jobs. Yeah, let me just, yeah, we'll discuss about background jobs. And in background jobs is there are many things like cron jobs, scheduled jobs, right? These background jobs runs in the background of your application, right? These are those jobs like that tasks that should be executed in the background and which will be independent from your main execution of the flow of the system, right? We will talk about DNS, which is called domain name system, right? Which is basically the name of your website, like www dot something dot com. So which will be given to an IP address. So we will talk about this. We will talk about CDN, that is content delivery network, right? How so we will talk about push and pull both. S- Push and pull both, right? So what is CDN? CDN is the distributed network of a proxy server, which will we discuss in detail. So basically CDN is basically serves the content from the different location which is closer to the user, so that the user gets the data very quickly without any much delay, right? So also we will discuss about load balancers, right? Load balancers, and load balancers is basically distribute it helps to distribute the load, right? So basically the client data, so the client request come to the our application, it helps to distribute the client request to our to our servers. Client request to our server, right? So we will also talk about application layer, like microservices, right? And we will talk about the database in a separate, like SQL, NoSQL, queries, right? And yeah, and after that we will also talk about we will talk about caching. In caching there are many types of cachings. We will strategies, there are many strategies like uh, right behind and refresh ahead. We will discuss it about in detail in this course, right? And we will talk about async functions. Async we can say processes like message queues, and we can say back pressure. Async process, we can say those workflows which reduce times for expensive operations, and which can which would not be performed in line with our flow, right? These processes help us to do the time consuming work in advance, right? So that's where it comes. And also we will learn about the network networks like HTTP and TCP, UDP, gRPC, these types of things. These are for the connections of the services. These are for the connection of the services, right? If we are making two microservices, these are microservices, we are making two microservices, then networks helps to connect these microservices, right? So microservices, we can say the independent modules, or we can say services, small services which are can be independently deployed and are modular, right? They have a specific functionality to do, right? We will discuss it in detail, right? After that we will go about monitoring like availability, ability, health, and security, right? And many more. And we will also talk to about how cloud services and uh, yeah, cloud services, basically AWS, Azure, like AWS, Azure, and the Google Cloud, right? And etc. So we will also talk about cloud design pattern. So these are like indexing, right? Sharding and priority queues and many more. You can write it: indexing, sharding, and PQ, and many more, right? We will talk about it. We will also talk about it, the reliability pattern, which help us to make a service reliable. Reliability patterns, right? So these are the things that we will cover. So this is the path, right? So that uh, after that, interview questions practice for system design. We will cover this also, right? This is important. So yeah, so these are the things we will cover. So thank you for watching. So please subscribe and share and like the video, and thank you.